I'm Jackie Topa, and I'm going to be showing you how to make this envelope punch board treat holder. And he holds a York peppermint patty inside. So let's get started. Now I took my cardstock and I scored it at 5 1/8 and 5 7/8, and then I cut it into 4. So it's cut at 2 1/8. So 11 inches by 2 1/8. And we'll start by punching our snowman. There's where the score lines are. 2 1/8 from each end. Just line that up with the mark. And do the same at the other end. This is going to make the base of our snowman. Slide that garbage aside. Okay, and you're also going to need a 2x2 piece of black and 2 pieces of black, 1/2 inch by 2.5 inches. And I rounded the corners on these with the corner rounder at the top, and it's larger than the word window if that's what you're thinking. So I used 2 so that my snowman's going to look good from the front or the back in case it's used on a table. So take your 2-inch piece of cardstock and round 2 corners, and you want them to be on the same side. And then the corners that you've rounded, line that up in the center as close as you can get it, and punch the middle, and that's going to make your hat. So when you take your punch board away, this is going to be your snowman's face. That was from the corner rounder, and that was from the loop at the top. So we'll bring our body back in here. Now in the bottom, I'm just going to put some snail in there. And I lost my peppermint patty. No, I didn't eat it. Okay, there it is. So I want it to line up with the score line at the bottom. So it's going to sit pretty well right at the bottom. So I'm just going to press that in there. And then I gathered some twigs. Now these are actually from weeds, not from a tree, because a tree is a little bit large. So I'm just going to use hot glue. Just put a couple of squirts in there of hot glue to hold his arms. Probably don't need that much, but I'll put that in there. If you don't want to do arms, or if you can't find any, you can go without as well. Okay, so once you got his arms on, I'll turn it back the other way here. I'm going to take some washi tape and wrap it around the center of his hat. Oops. There, I'm just going to rip that off. Put some glue on the top of the snowman there, and I'm just going to line that washi tape up with the top. I don't know if you can see that, where the edge of the snowman is. I'll put another look up there. We'll just close that up. Now these pieces, actually before I do any gluing, I think I'll put his scarf on. So I'm going to start by sticking a piece down the front. Oops, well, I didn't mean to rip that, but it's alright. I'll just make a little knot there. Okay, so I just wrapped it around, and then a piece down the back. You might want that a little bit longer too. And the 2 pieces, the 2.5 inch by 1/2 inch pieces, I'm going to put one in the front and one in the back. Oops. I've got some, I'll do his face first. Put a little dot where I want his eyes to go. His nose, and a little line for his mouth there. So we'll do his eyes first. I put a little Tombow on the tip of my piercing tool, and it's just sticky enough that I can pick up my pieces. And oops, I'm going to cut this is the ornament from the Merry Minis, and I'm just going to round that. That's going to be his nose. Actually, I'll put his mouth on first. Oops. Let's pull up a little more. You can have a crooked smile. And we're going to put on some buttons and a flower for his hat. Okay, here's our little snowman all finished. I added 3 buttons from the Itty Bitty Punch Pack, Shapes Punch Pack I think it's called, and that's where the flower's from as well. And for his eyes I just put some little dots in there with the white gel pen and some black buttons. I should say some holes on the buttons with the black marker. And I also made a little tag and die cut it. I did it both sides, and I glued a piece of linen thread in between because these are going to be my table favors, and I'm just going to hook that onto his hand so he will hold that up at the table with everybody's name on them. And that's it for our envelope punch board snowman.